what pricing strategies do you use for your program? Well, I'm going to give everybody a shortcut. Ready? Here it is. Be more expensive than any other academy in town. Just decide right now that you will be the most expensive. Well, hold on now, Fred. You don't know our community. You don't know our neighborhood. You don't know the demographics. It doesn't matter. Be the most expensive. Listen, we live in North America, and most Americans assume if something is more expensive, as my nephew would say, if it's more expensive, it's got to be more better. Listen, don't let price get in the way of you helping more people. And the shortcut to helping more people is to come across as though you are the absolute best. And the shortcut to being the absolute best is to charge more than anyone else. Because most of us, we decided on our pricing schedule based on what somebody advised us to do that probably didn't give you the advice I just did. Or we look around town, figure out what everybody's paying, and try to fit in the middle. Skip all that. You got a choice. You can have 100 people paying $100, or you can pay 50 people, or have 50 people paying $200. Guess which one is, again, more better? Become the premium program in your community. The idea that if I make my membership more affordable, I'll make up the difference in volume has never worked. It will never work. As a matter of fact, the more people you have to serve, the more expensive that operation becomes. And if you're charging if you're the least expensive in town, well, you're always going to be dealing with some financial challenges. And there's something else too. Charging less will attract a different type of clientele. Now, I know everyone on this call wants to help everybody, but the first body you got to help is you and your staff and your family. Go in the direction of a premium pricing. Now, in terms of how to charge, there's a lot of ways to charge. You can sell a program with an outcome. You can go month to month. You can do all kinds of stuff. Let me tell you what's most important. I think we have to be in alignment with what we want to happen most often, and that is students showing up. So my strong recommendation is to base your monthly tuition rate on the number of times you want that student to come to class. And here's a real quick example that I see across the country. To come to class one time a week, your tuition rate is $199. To come 2 times a week, your tuition is $249. To attend class 3 times a week, you guessed it, $299. To come 4 times a week, $349. And to have unrestricted, unlimited training, $399 a month. I want you to write those down. Let's start over, okay? So put 1/199. Write this down. 2/249. 3/299. 4/349. And then put UL, unlimited attendance, $399. Now, I'm not asking you to change your price today, but why don't you use that as an example? See, sometimes all it takes is you to become more familiar with the idea of charging more, where you'll wrap your arms around and embrace it. But this idea that we need to make our program more affordable so more people can participate is a surefire way to never do well financially. So let me
On a on a side note, I think might be one or two people on this call that might be charging more than that already, and we're not suggesting you lower your tuition.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because then we got some real players on here. But sometimes you got to see it so you can believe it. So just by writing the numbers down, as a matter of fact, check this out. Write the numbers down and just repeat it. Repeat it. Have conversation with your spouse or your staff members. Just talk about charging more. Because I think what happens more often than not, because we're not cool, calm, and collected and asking for more money, we're so uncomfortable we don't do it. So just become more familiar with the tuition rate. And my recommendation is start basing your tuition on what you want repeated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is class attendance. But let's take it one step further. Let's talk about accelerating rate of pay. Once somebody agrees to pay a tuition amount at a certain level, you always have the opportunity to get people to pay faster. So another tactic you can use to collect more money is to invite people to prepay a set number of months. And here's the example of that. When somebody prepays 12 months in advance, the savings should be 10%. Flat rate, maybe $500. If they choose to prepay 24 months in advance, I think the percentage of discount could be 15% or perhaps a flat rate of 10. If they prepay 36 months, let's say $2,000, which works out to be about 20%. If they prepay 48 months, well, that deserves a 25% savings. In most cases, if your tuition is in the neighborhood of $300 a month, it's about a $3,000 savings. And if they choose to prepay 60 months, yeah, I said 60 months, give them a savings of 30%, which typically on a tuition rate of $299 works out about $5,000 in savings. Write that down. Decide right now that we're just not going to talk about money. We're going to talk about the number of months that a student commits to. Now, the caveat to this is have them commit to a number of months that will take them somewhere, outcome based. For example, let's say I have a student who's been around for a year and he's a green belt. I'll sit down with him and maybe set the goal to become a fourth degree. So I'm going to invite him to commit to the next 48 months at a savings of 25%. So that's another way we can accelerate how quickly people pay. Because after all, as we all probably know by now, there's only 3 ways to make a professional income in our business. And here they are. Number 1, enroll people at a premium. Number next, charge more for everything. And the third, collect faster. Collect faster, not just on tuition, but everything.